So your SimCab RX, we have several models available, two different types. There's a nursing cabinet as well as a pharmacy cabinet setup, as well as there is the standard version, which is the shorter version. And we have an extended cabinet that goes floor to ceiling, has more storage options, but also contains the same drawer configurations and lock capabilities of your bins and pockets, which we'll discuss in a little bit. When you receive your items in your shipping location, if you notice there's any problems with damage or missing items, please notify KB Port immediately so we can address those issues. As well as if there are any contents that are missing from your packaging, please let us know that as well. So in shipment, the cabinets ship in from a couple of different distributors. The first is Mayflower, which is the main cabinet shipper. You'll receive your cabinet, either the short standard version or the taller storage version, in shrink wrap. The pharmacy and pharmacy extended version, the taller one, and the nursing, all will have an additional shelf box for mounting at a later time that will support the printer that comes with those models specifically. The second shipment location shipper provider is FedEx, and you may receive 1 to 2 boxes of those items, and those generate from us here at KB Port. That is your Dell all-in-one computer and peripherals. So for the nursing standard configuration, you'll receive 1 box that contains your computer, your peripherals for your keyboard, mouse. Your barcode scanner will also be contained within that packaging. For the pharmacy and extended cabinets, you'll also receive that same configuration, but also will receive a laser printer for document reporting that is associated with the pharmacy presentation. The third shipment option is through UPS, and that would be your demo dose product samples through our partner at Pocket Nurse. For the nursing and nursing extended versions, you'll receive 2 boxes that have 47 different sample types that you can utilize for stocking purposes and utilization in your simulations. And for the pharmacy and pharmacy extended versions, you'll again receive 2 boxes, but those will have 50 different sample products. And again, those are for use for stocking or for your simulation uses. You can contact Pocket Nurse for reorders on those items, or there is a method in the programming that is provided through SimCab RX that you can do reordering right at the site. SimCab RX comes in 2 different versions, as we've mentioned, a nursing and a pharmacy version. So SimCab for nursing is an automated dispensation cabinet that is specific for nursing learners. It provides authentic medication dispensation practices in a simulated environment and allows the student to engage in high-risk medication administration actions that they typically are not able to encounter in the clinical setting. Usually it's observational. The cabinet comes with sample patient profiles that are linked to SimEMR, and that affords an all-in-one experience for the student to actually follow the critical process and validation of assessing patient information, validating that patient information with their provider order entry, accuracy of that data entry, medication dispensation processing, recording of their documentation, and finally reconciliation of their medication dispensation process. Again, this is something that they typically don't get in the clinical setting and is a great adjunct to your clinical lab setting. SimCab RX Pharmacy, again, is the cabinet product that is available for pharmaceutical learners. It, again, provides a realistic environment for the student to practice those activities that they typically may not be enabled to do in a clinical setting or a community located environment. They have opportunities for practicing of the highest quality of assessment of parameters, locating vital information that is key to their activity within their school program. It prepares pharmacy students for activities that they will actually complete during their career processes. The cabinet is designed specifically to permit the learner task completion in an unrestricted time frame, so the cabinet activities don't time out for the student. And the cabinet includes a customizable formulary. It includes sample patient profiles, and again, the student has the capability of assessing that critical information that they need in order to provide accuracy in medication order entry, validation from the physician prospect, and completion of the process through to medication dispensation, stocking, wasting, discrepancy acquisition through the cabinet functionality. And again, it's something that they learn in a simulated setting that they can then apply to their future professional careers. When you unbox your SimCab RX, either the standard or extended version, you'll locate somewhere on the cabinetry itself a cellophane wrap package that contains 3 barrel lock keys. These are for opening your center drawer panels that will allow you access to your drawers as well as your storage locations on your cabinet. Be very careful about the cellophane unwrapping. Use scissors. Please don't use a bar cutter just to prevent damage to your cabinet. So in order to open up the cabinet doors, the assembly comes locked at present. You take your barrel key, and again, there's 3 of them. You can use any one into the barrel location. This is a panel that opens up, and it reveals a pull cord off to the right-hand side. When you pull the pull cord, it opens up the bottom door compartment, which houses 12 configurable bins for your supply sources. And we're going to move on to another lock that needs to be opened up in order to open your drawers. So again, using the same barrel lock key or one of the others that are supplied, in the upper compartment of the door configuration, you'll notice that there's a barrel lock again, and you'll insert your key to that location and gently turn the lock, and that opens up your drawers for easy access for stocking and use. As you open your door compartment after you have unlocked your cabinetry, you'll notice in the bottom of the location there's a box that has your power cord, small corrugated box. There's a USB cable in some instances as well. You may find in your manufacturer's paperwork also contained down in this location. So you'll take your power cord out of the box, and in the rear compartment of the cabinet, when you turn it around, there's one simple plug. That's a 3-prong plug that you just plug into the back of the lower portion of the cabinet that will activate your power. You can now plug this cord into a power strip. If you have a refrigerator lock that you have purchased as an optional device, please don't plug that in yet. We will cover that in an upcoming session. So when you receive your cabinet, you'll also receive your Dell all-in-one computer. We're going to unbox that. So be very cautious about placement of the device so you don't drop it and crack it. You'll find the power cords and the USB peripherals packaged in that same container. You just want to plug in your main power cord to the back of the monitor, as well as the USB peripheral accesses for your keyboard, your mouse, and your barcode scanner on the left-hand side of the computer in the rear. Do not, again, plug your cabinet or refrigerator lock if you have purchased one into a power source at this point in time. After you have your Dell all-in-one computer powered to a wall source or your power strip that is included with your cabinet, the activation of the power for the computer is on the lower right-hand side. You'll hear a little beep, and that's how you know that your power is active. It will take a few minutes for the programming to activate, and as you can see, it's powering up and almost ready to go. As part of an optional purchase, we do offer a refrigerator lock if you are interested in that. Again, as part of the configuration, make sure that you have your Dell all-in-one plugged in, but you do not want your cabinet plugged in at this point in time. The gray cable that's a USB source on the back of your cabinet is your power source. We'll address that in a moment. The refrigerator lock is a USB capable device, but it also has a power cord, so you want to make sure that you're plugging this into your power strip and then inserting your USB cable again to the left side of your monitor in the rear, and it will activate the installation software. You'll see a device setup window, and your Windows drivers will install on your monitor at this point in time. After you've installed your refrigerator lock drivers, if you've purchased that option from KB Port, we're going to plug your cabinet in. And remember, I said the gray cable on the back of your device is USB capable. Plug it into the back of your all-in-one computer. And you'll initially get a device setup window for your device drivers activation. That will load. Once that setup completes, you'll open your Meds Manager application, which is located on your desktop screen. And for further prompts related to your configuration, follow the directions that are on the screen, and we'll cover the configuration aspects more effectively in video 2. Once you have your drawer location unlocked with the barrel key as we indicated previously. You'll also see there's another barrel lock located at the very bottom of your cabinet. This is the main power supply. So again, using your barrel key, you'll open up this partition, which slides off very easily, and the power supply is located here. When your SimCab RX arrives, either the nursing or the pharmacy standard or extended versions, you'll receive the cabinet with empty drawers. So within the bottom drawer location or within the drawer itself, you'll notice these interlocking drawer dividers. Very easy to assemble. You just cross thread them and put them into your drawer as you wish. This current representation obviously is an empty drawer, but when you have completed your drawer assembly and so you received your demo dose sample product, this is what your drawer will look like. So they are customizable to meet your specific user needs. Again, all of the interlocking dividers are manipulatable. You can change them. And again, just for referencing, the barcode scanning does not come applied on the dividers. That's something that the end user can do on their own. In addition to your drawer divider assembly, please make sure that it is in the configuration of 5 separations or partitions across and 4 columns down. That will match up with the customizable display properties that are included in the software. So we're going to cover the software installation of your SimCab RX, either version, any model. Just be aware, follow your instructions in your guide as to importing your USB devices as directed. Once you power on your system, the power button for the all-in-one computer is located here on the far right. It'll open up your screen, and the all-in-one computer is touchscreen capable as well as mouse capable if you prefer. On your desktop, you'll see several icons. SimEMR we'll talk about at a later date, but you'll see the application for SimCab RX. You just select that item and the software will open up. And the first part of your installation process, you'll see a depiction of 3 different modalities, the first being your extended cabinet, your SimCab RX standard, and our SimCard RX as well. So you just choose your specific cabinet device or cart as you wish. And we're going to select the standard. And if you've purchased an optional refrigerator lock, there is an indicator at the bottom of this page. Just click the checkbox there as well so we can include that software application for you, and then click the selection of Continue. Okay. The next screen that develops is your local login provider, and depending on if you're utilizing an electronic medical record with your cabinet, you have several options available. The most common is the local database, but if you're using a different software provider related to your EMR, that may be listed in your selection screen as well. We're going to use the local database here, and if you're unsure about those, just check the local and then select Save, and the configuration applications will then start. It'll take a few minutes depending on your network situation, could be up to 15, so you just have to wait patiently. So after your application has completely installed, you'll get this window with your Meds Manager login screen for your username and password. Those are the user license codes that you'll receive from us at KB Port. So just contact us when you have that need for activation. So once your applications have all loaded, again, this is the main screen of Meds Manager where you'll log in with your username and password once retrieved from KB Port, and we'll discuss the stocking opportunity. So we're going to select Login, and there's been an update, so I'm just going to bypass that. Across the bottom of the screen, you'll notice several options available to you. The first is stock. There's a waste option, formulary reports, etc. So we're going to select the stock option. Again, on this main page, you'll see any announcements, and these will be displayed for the instructor. Announcements related to stockouts, product changes, etc. Any new provider orders will also be shown on the main screen as well. And then if you're interested in looking for a specific medication, there's a drug search locator bar off to the right-hand side. So if I wanted to know how many Lasix I had in my cabinet, I could easily search that process. So we're going to select the stock option in the lower portion of the screen. And what you'll see on the left-hand side is a representation of your cabinet drawers, as well as the pocket locations for the medications to be loaded into your system. So to open up the drawers, you simply click on the cabinet drawer that you wish to engage with. That'll pop open the functionality of the drawer. And as we mentioned earlier, the top drawer has 20 lockable pockets for medication usage. If I wanted to stock this drawer, I could select across the bottom if these were empty pockets, drawer 1, bin 1. And again, these are numerically labeled for your ease of supply use. If I select drawer 1, currently it's locked. When I select the load option, and I can select a drug here. If I had my barcode scanner, which I do, I can scan the medication, and the medication that's loaded into the formulary will populate in the selection screen. I can select one of interest, and you'll see the stock button at the bottom of that location. And you'll get a new screen that indicates all the appropriate information that your pharmacy or nursing student may need, specifics to the medication such as expiration dates, lot numbers, the quantity and par levels that you're keeping in those bins. That can all be incorporated on this page. Once you have included that information to your liking, you select update and close, and it's asking for a lot number. So I'm just going to type something in here really quickly. So now that medication has been added to the selection list. If I wanted to access the pocket for inclusion of the medication, I can simply select Access. It will open up the pocket of interest, and I can incorporate my medications at that point in time. And close my drawer whenever I'm finished. If I had to change or update quantities, if we're removing quantities, because I wanted to reassign that pocket, I could easily do that from this location as well. Selecting the Update Quantity button, changing the quantity of interest, updating it, and again, that saves that new quantity in the software program. And I can move on the same with all of the drawers. We mentioned previously, drawer 3 and 4 were open pocket bins. We referred to that previously. So these are non-locking options, but again, you can stock your medications in the same way by selecting the drawer of interest, which in this case would be drawer 3. You just scroll down the selection screen, select a bin that you want to load, and we just picked one here, and then go through the same process. Scan the medication. It will automatically be located in the formulary, and you can then load your drawer in the normal fashion. So I've located myself at my SimCab RX. I'm going to be selecting some medication that my patient needs. I've already opened up my Sim EMR application to my provider orders page, so I'm validating my order for my specific patient. I can go to my medication administration record and find the medication that I'm wishing to administer, which in this case will be our Lasix for my patient. So now I would be traveling to my SimCab RX, looking for the medication furosemide in the selection screen in the formulary. And I can either select through the pick screen or do a search. And that will automatically locate the medication in my cabinet for me. Through the filter option. And I can select through the selection screen here. We refer to demo dose a lot. That is the Pocket Nurse product of samples that are available for usage with the cabinet. But the formulary is much more encompassing. If you are creating your own medications, you can include those in the formulary as well for your use. If you're using another branded product, that will also be available. It's not finding the one I want. So I'm going to select my screen. Open up my drawer, find my medication of interest, which in this case would be my furosemide. I could go back to my patient, scan the medication with my barcode scanner. It would validate in the EMR as the correct medication. So typically the SimCab RX can be utilized as a standalone option for medication stocking, or it can be used in conjunction with a medication dispensation cart, which is such as our SimCard RX. So the process flow would be that the student or the instructor would come to the cabinet, remove their medication of interest, and then put it into the SimCard RX for then the student to dispense to the patient. In this instance, we're just pulling a stock medication out for administration, which I have done with my furosemide here. We've scanned the patient and the medication, and now it's opened up a page for us to identify the correct medication was identified, whether I'm giving the medication, what time I gave it, if there were any specific notations that needed to be included for the medication record, that can be done here. And then when I initial my administration documentation, that secures it in the final electronic record as given to the patient if we are performing that experience at this point in time. And I can seek out my medication across the screen, locating that administration as completed. So we've spoken a couple of times about your demo dose sample products. This is the packaging from Pocket Nurse that you'll receive around the time of shipment of your cart or cabinet. And located within are the sample products that are on Pocket Nurse's formulary. I mentioned that the SimCab RX for nursing has 47 different samples. These are the pill representations that you can utilize as stock supply. The cabinets, be it either the extended pharmacy or the extended nursing, will have 50 supplied items. So you'll receive 1 to 2 boxes that look like this if you have ordered a cabinet with demo dose as an option. So we're going to discuss how you can utilize the SimCard RX in your medication administration skills practice with your students. So on the screen we have our EMR available for use. If you're using a different product, we integrate with many of them. So basically what I'm going to do is log into my system here and pull up my patient information and find my patient. Now again, if you have your patient's wristband printed out on paper or through another device, you can have the student barcode scan the patient's wristband at this point in time and it will automatically populate to the EMR of interest. We're going to open up the patient's medical record here. Again, reviewing the patient's physician orders for validation of accuracy. The student can review that, and then they go to the medication administration record and identify which medication they want to administer at this point in time. So for instance, this patient may be due for a Lasix, which is down the selection screen here. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit. There we go. So our medications are contained, and this would be pre-stocked by the instructor or lab coordinator or assistant in the specific medication drawers below. And in order to access the drawers, we're going to shrink the screen here. On your desktop, there's an icon once you install the Meds Manager application to your all-in-one computer. You'll find the icon in the corner. You double click the icon, and your Meds Manager application will look like this screen when it is installed correctly. So it's a representation of your 6 patient drawers and your storage drawer. So you select the patient drawer of interest, and these are all customizable free text. You can make them identified in any way that's easier for you. Once you select the patient drawer of interest on the screen, either touch screen or mouse, and you heard the clicking in the back, that was the unlock mechanism of the drawer for that specific patient. So now I can take out my medication of interest, close my drawer, and that does relock and engage the security device of the cart. We'll go back to our medication listing here, and when I scan this medication that's already been pre-populated in my formulary, I was afraid of this. The system will scan and identify the medication and populate it to the administration screen. And the student can complete their documentation for this administration at this point in time with their date and time of administration, any specific notes, as well as their initials as their final documentation process.